Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. Welcome to FAR110 lecture series number 5, where this video is on topic of double entry and transaction analysis. Okay, first we look into the duality concept, whereby every transactions that business has a dual effect, means that you have two-sided effect on each transactions for the parties that involved in the business transactions. So must have dual effect, whereby the defects means that it can be reduced or decreased or increase in the business wealth. So it must be recorded on the both sides of it. Any change of the item will follow with another change in equal in monetary terms, because we have whenever the increase in asset, it could be a decrease in asset also. So the rules of double entry means that ataupun or we can call it rules of debit and credit, where if asset, expenses, liability, income and capital increase, as expenses increase, you will debit the transactions. If liability, income or revenue or capital increase, you will credit the items. Vice versa. As expenses decrease, they must be recorded in credit side. Liability, revenue, capital decrease, then it will be debited. That is why in last video I emphasize on the classification of the items, because you need to know which classification of the item so that you will know the rules of debit and credit, which one account to be debited and which account to be credited. It can also you can also use expanded accounting table, whereby the expanded accounting equations asset drawing expenses must be equal to capital, liability and revenue. So you used a table like this. Whenever asset drawing or expenses increase, or you will debit the account, whereby whenever capital, liability and revenue decrease, you will debit that particular item, and vice versa. Whenever asset drawing or expenses has been decreased in your business, or capital, liability or revenue has been increased in your business, so you need to credit your item. For the first for students who first taking account for this semester, you might be a bit confused, but never mind. In later time that you will understand. Okay, so basic accounting equation effects means that, remember, basic accounting equations is asset equals to liabilities at owner's equity, whereby the owner's equity, capital at revenue, deduct expenses, because revenue deduct expenses becomes your net profit, and deduct drawings, because these four classifications falls under owner's equity. So whenever there is increase in capital or revenue, it will increase the owner's equity. So if owner contribute to the business, or you receive a money because of the revenue you occur, so it will increase the owner's equity. However, whenever there is an increase in expenses or drawings, it means it will decrease the owner's equity. So when we talk about effects to basic accounting equations, we're not talking about capital, revenue, or expenses or drawing per se. We actually explain whether there is an effect to the asset, liabilities, and owner's equity. So, or vice versa, whenever there is a decrease in capital or revenue, it will decrease the owner's equity. So whenever there is a decrease in expenses or drawings, it will increase the owner's equity. So you must be able to distinguish the increase and decrease of owner's equity here. Okay, let's go to examples. Let's say owner's contribution to the business. Okay. For example, on 1st of July, owner started the business by contributing 100,000 of cash, where the cash is being deposited into the bank account of the business, and 4,500 value of office equipment, and also the owner pay for the shop rental using his own money, 3,000 ringgit. So in explaining the transaction, these three transactions to the basic accounting equation effects, so you will see that is an increase of asset, that is 100,000 of cash in bank, and you have under plus, you have the symbol plus, but we put under the word of capital or the column of capital, because the contribution of owner recognized as capital. So plus 100,000 under capital column, and the owner contributed the office equipment. Again, office equipment is an asset, so that is a plus 4,500 ringgit in the asset column, and 4,500 ringgit increase in capital. And also it says owner made the payment for shop rental. Shop rental is actually an expenses, but we recognize an increase of capital because the owner used his own money. So plus 3,000 ringgit under the capital column, and minus 3,000 ringgit under the expenses column, because rental paid is an expenses. We do not put in the asset because this rental is not an asset. And can you see that the sign or the symbol, if the amount crossing the border of the red one, means that the red one is equals to. So whenever you increase the asset, there must be increase whether in liability or owner's equity. You can see here 100,000 plus, and here capital 100,000 plus, and plus 4,000 ringgit, 500, 4,500 increase in asset, add, and here it also a sign of plus. However, if the figure or the amount does not cross the red line, does not cross the equal line, one item will be with plus sign, the plus, a symbol of plus, and then another one, the 3,000 minus symbol. So plus minus, it becomes 0, right? So your equation will be balanced. Next example is owner's drawing, where owner withdrew assets for personal use. Okay, for example, the transactions 20th of July, owner withdraw 500 ringgit of cash and 240 ringgit value goods for personal use. So your transactions or effects to basic accounting equations, for the 500 of cash is asset. So when we took out the 500 from the business, so you need to deduct the asset 500 ringgit, and then you will have deduct minus symbol for drawing column 500 ringgit, because withdrawing for personal use must be recognized as owner's drawings. For the withdrawing the goods, withdraw the goods, taking out the goods or taking out the inventory for personal use, the effects will be reducing the expenses, because we need to decrease the amount of purchases. So the sign or the symbol that must be used is plus for 240 under the expenses column, and negative or minus 240 must be put under the drawings column. This is effects if you withdraw an inventory or goods for owner's personal use. Okay, next example on purchases transactions. Always remember, purchases are recording transactions that involve trading goods, means that you buy that particular items in intention to sell the particular items. So if you buy that particular item but do not intend to you are not intend to sell the item, so it shouldn't be recorded in purchases. Another purchases, if you buy raw materials, intention to use that raw materials to be used in producing a product on your own. Okay, let's say the example is given. On 12th of July, owner bought 1,800 ringgit value of goods from Aris Berhad using business check, means that they used money in the bank, and it says here after deducted 10% discount. So you will take the value of the goods is 1,800 ringgit, because it's already said after deducting 10% discount. And trading discount usually we do not record, so it just take that particular amount and just you can ignore the discount or the trade discount. Okay, the next day, so another transactions of purchasing goods. The next day purchased 700 ringgit of goods from Tesco by cash. Here he used cash in hand, or the purchases can be also be in terms of credit, means that delaying the payment. So this example, 18th of July, 2,400 ringgit of goods purchased from FT Trading by credit term, means that you delay the payment. 5/10, net 30. This is the term that one of the term that you can use for the customer, means giving out the term of delaying the payment. 5 means a discount, a cash discount can be given to the buyer if the buyer pay within 10 days, because it is here 10. So 5% can be given as cash discount if the customer pay within the 10 days of the date of the invoice. Here the transactions on 18. So the 10 days means that the last day that the business can get the discount, the cash discount, if the business paid on or early than 28. So if the business pay on 29, so you will not get a discount. If you pay earlier, then you get a discount of 5% from the total debt that you owe to the seller. Net 30 means that is the last day, the maximum day that you can delay the payment. So from day 11, day 12 or day 13 until the day 30, you will not get any discount if you pay on that period. After 30 days, the 30 days is the maximum day. So if you fail to pay on the 30th day, the next month, for example, the 18th of August, so legal action can be taken on you because you breach the contract. Means that because the last day of the payment, it should be net 30th day. Okay, then the effect to the basic accounting equations. If you use the money in the bank, of course, it will decrease the money, the assets of the business. So you will put minus 1,800 ringgit. And again, you are crossing the red line. So you will have deduct 1,800 ringgit in the expenses column because 1,800 ringgit actually reduced or decreased the owner's equity. 1,800 ringgit actually is being recorded in purchases account. So purchases is classified as expenses. The next transactions is 700 ringgit that you use cash for payment. So of course your cash will be reduced. So negative 700 ringgit in the column under the column of assets, and again minus 700 ringgit under the expenses column. But on 18th of July, because you delay the payment, so the purchasing transactions on the day of the purchasing transactions, there is no money exchange, so there is no money reduced at that time. So you cannot reduce any assets, but it will increase the liabilities because you promise FT trading to pay in the future in the maximum day is 30. So it will increase the liability. So you will write plus 2,400 ringgit under the liability columns and minus 2,400 ringgit under the expenses because those three are purchases. So you can see the 2,400 ringgit do not crossing the line of the red line, the equal line. So one item you write with a plus sign, another one with negative sign. The next example for transaction purchases, return, and discount received. Okay, let's take example on the last slide. Example on 18th of July, bought from FT Trading with the credit term 5% discount, cash discount available, entitled to the buyer if you pay less or equal to 10 days from the date of the invoice. That is the 28th of July is the last day you can or you entitled for 5% discount. Otherwise, you will pay full amount, and the maximum days that you can delay the payment is 30 days. And the 19th of July, it says here, there is a good return to FT Trading. The value of the return is 200 ringgit. And on 26th of July, a check issued to FT Trading for full settlement, means that you clear all the debt. So the effect to basic accounting equations on the day transactions or purchases that is on 18th of July. So you will add the liabilities plus 2,400 ringgit for liabilities column, and you minus 2,400 ringgit under the expenses column because that is the purchases that you made. And on 19th of July, because of the return 200 ringgit, so you will put again on the same column that you record, you write 2,400 ringgit. So you will deduct 200 ringgit liabilities because the debt to FT trading has been reduced 200 ringgit because we have returned the particular goods, and because we do not cross the red line, so another one is with plus sign, the symbol plus under the expenses because our expenses has been reduced and the owner's equity automatically reduced. So plus 200 under the expenses column. That is for effect return goods to supplier. On 26th of July, we issue checks. So means that you will reduce the asset. However, you do not know, probably we do not know what is the amount because it says here, check issued for full settlement. So you need to calculate what is the actual amount owed to FT trading on the 26th. Since we bought 2,400 ringgit on 18, but we have returned 200 ringgit on 19. So actual amount of debt owed to FT is 2,200 ringgit. So when you pay FT, you deduct 2,200 ringgit under the liability column. Since you are given a credit term of 5/10, means that 5% discount will be deducted if you pay before 28. Here we pay on 26, means that earlier than 28, the maximum days the title for discount. So you will record only 95% of the debt that you pay to FT trading. Means that 95% only the asset will be reduced. So 2,200 ringgit multiplied with 90%, that is the money that you will issue, money that you will pay to FT trading. And the 5% discount will be recorded under the revenue column. That is the discount received. So you will put plus 110 under the revenue column because it increased the owner's equity by 110 ringgit. Next, the sales transactions. For example, on 30th of July, a customer named Chicha bought 130 ringgit value of goods by cash, means that Chicha paid by cash. Okay, the next example is on July 17, the goods were sold to Arman, 2,600 ringgit, and he paid 600 ringgit by check. Okay, already paid 600 ringgit by money in the bank, and the remainder will be paid in 2 weeks, means that 2,000 ringgit is hutang. Arman is hutang with us, and so delay the payment for that particular sale transactions. Okay, the next one, on 20th of July, 5,500 ringgit goods sold to use neighborhood by credit, and so on credit, and agreed to give 10% discount to you. Here it doesn't say after. Means that the 5,500 ringgit before deducting the trade discount. So actually, the goods that you sell off to use neighborhood is the value of 5,000 ringgit because you need to deduct the 10% trade discount. So the effect for honest for basic accounting equations. Okay, first, we receive money from Jija, 130. So the cash increase 130. So plus 130 under asset column and plus 130 under the revenue column, because sales is under category of revenue. Okay, next one, Aman. Okay, Aman has paid 600 ringgit, so you can separate the 600, recognize the 600 is to be recorded in the bank, and the 2,000 ringgit will be recorded in Aman. Bank, of course, is an asset. Aman is a customer debt. So the customer debt is an asset to us. So that's why we put under the asset at 2,000 ringgit. The customer promised us to pay in the future. And you either can separate add 600 ringgit and add plus 2,000 ringgit. You can separate them under the revenue column, or you can combine it at 2,600 ringgit. Here in asset also you can combine it. If you do not want to separate them, it's acceptable if you do not separate the 600 and the 2,000, because both are in asset and effect in revenue. Okay, next one, the 20th of July, the 5,500 ringgit, that is before the trade discount. But you will record, or the effect of accounting records will be an increase of assets. Even though use never had buy on credit, again the U is the customer debt, so we put under asset column at 5,000 ringgit plus 5,000 ringgit, and under the revenue column add plus 5,000 ringgit under the revenue column. Next is example for sales, return and discount allowed. Okay, we will take the example just now, the used number had bought on 20th of July before the 10% discount and credit term. Okay, let's see here. Let's say here the credit term we give to you was 10, means that 10% of cash discount will be given to you if you paid within 7 days of the date, means that the last day you can get the discount, the cash discount on 27. If you paid before 27, on 27 or before 27, so you will get 10% discount of cash discount. Otherwise, you need to pay the full amount without the discount. And the last day, or the maximum days that you can delay the payment, is 30 days. On 25th of July, 300 ringgit worth of goods was returned by used number had. So the customer returned 300 ringgit. On 26th of July, a check from you was received for full settlement. So you paid the debt on 26th. Did you actually get the discount? Yes, because the last day to get the discount is 27, but you pay on 26. So this discount is entitled to be given to you. Okay, so the date on 20th, the sales transactions occur. So at 5,000 ringgit under the asset column and 5,000 ringgit as add up with to the revenue column. On 25th, the return. 25th will return. So you will reduce 300 ringgit of assets, because the debt from the debt that the debt of you used number hard has been reduced 300 ringgit. So you minus 300 on under the asset column, and also you need to reduce the revenue because the customer already returned the goods that we sold to used number hard. So deduct on revenue column. On 26, used number hard paid to us. Okay, the actual amount actually owed by used number hard is 4,700 because you need to deduct the return that has been made by used number hard. So the actual amount owed by you is 4,700. So we will deduct 4,700. That is you accounts, use number accounts, and you will receive only, the business only receive 4,230. That is only 90% from the actual amount of money owed by use number hard. 10% from the actual amount owed by use number hard. For 10% multiply with 4,700. So 470 ringgit will be recognized as discount allowed. So discount allowed under the classification of expenses. So you need to write minus 470 under the expenses column. Next is transactions that involve internally. Okay, example here. Let's say the business sell books and stationeries. So on 2nd of July, owner withdrew 4,000 ringgit from bank for office use. Not for personal use, but for office use. So it's a business transactions, not personal. Or let's say another example is on 15th of July, owner withdrew 800 ringgit worth of inventory to be used in the office. Not for personal use, but for the office use, for business use. So these are called internal transactions. So the effect for the 2nd of July, we withdrew from bank and put into the cash. So minus 400 from bank and plus 400 for cash. So both will be effect under the asset column because cash in hand is asset, cash in bank also an asset. However, for 15th of July, when the inventory has been reduced, the inventory that has not been sold yet will be recorded in purchases account, and purchases is in expenses classifications. So whenever expenses reduced, you will put a plus sign, and the inventory is taken out is to be used in the office. So it becomes an expenses to the business because we will record it as stationeries. So stationeries also under the expenses column. So there is one record increased or one record under with the plus sign, and one record on with the negative or minus symbol. So the account, when we say account or a ledger, is actually a, a chronological sequence of record, whether it's increase or decrease the item. And with definitions, the account, another definition of accounts is usually to show the increase and decrease in the financial statement. We say that it can be called an account or it can be called a ledger. So item, when we say item, it refers to asset, liability, or the owner's equity, whereby the owner's equity has the four column just now. And for FAR110, we will use the 3-column ledger. It's something like this. You have an account name on the middle or on the left line or the center line. Never, it's not specifically fixed. You can use in the middle line or the left line. It doesn't matter. However, you have the column of date. What are the date of the transactions has occurred? The particular means that what are the other effects, the account that affected with the transactions. Debit column, credit column, and balance column. So this is we call a 3-column ledger that we will cover in the next videos, lecture series. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video on source of document, journal, and ledger. Ta-ta for now.